Hey, as I'm recording this, the Coriolis, the Great Dark Kickstarter is coming to a close in about a week. As a backer, I got access to a quick start rules. Actually, I'm not sure you need to be a backer for that. I think anybody can get the quick start rules. And in that quick start is a introductory adventure called the Sky Machine. It's pretty cool. And it's really great short, intro scenario. I think it would be fully playable at a convention. In fact, I'm preparing to run the Sky Machine at a convention here in Kansas City, uh, Midwest Game Fest in April. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But I have started playing the Sky Machine with my local, well, not local, we play online, but with my group of players, and we're having a blast. It We only had our first session, and we've just kind of really barely gotten started into it. There was a lot that we covered as far as some of the core mechanics, how tests are rolled, and the the roles that your characters play in this new realm. This is an updated version or a second edition of the Coriolis game, um, which is really pretty cool. In the original Coriolis, it was kind of people would describe it as Arabian Nights in space, kind of a mix between Firefly and Dune. And I think that was apropos. This new Coriolis, they've kind of updated the rules a little bit. I think they've streamlined it quite a bit and made it really easy to get it to the table, to get new players engaged in it. And yeah, I'm really excited for it. I don't think there's a very high learning curve to get into this game. And instead of it being, you know, Dune meets Firefly, it's it's more of an exploratory science fiction setting, science fiction game with elements of cosmic horror. But it's really more about the majestic wonder of doing exploration, trying to discover new things, discover artifacts. This corner of the galaxy that the humanities, these humans are kind of trapped in, um, because travel in and out is very difficult. It doesn't have They don't have access to the faster than light travel that is available in the other Coriolis game, which is to say that the ships themselves don't go faster than light. If anybody's interested, they use like portal technology, so they go through a portal and then zip, and then space is folded and they appear at the other portal. There is a portal in this corner of space, built by just a mysterious race of beings that they call the Builders, and some people think that there is a link between the Builders and the gods that these humans in the original Coriolis worship, that are known as icons. Like, are Builders and icons, are they one and the same? Hard to tell. But the portal in this new corner of space, this great dark lost horizon, is dead. It's In fact, they call it the tomb, and it can't be used for faster than light travel. So the only way new people could come to this area of space, or the existing people could get out, is if they had access to a ship that contained um, sleeper, you know, cryogenic freezer technology, so they could go to sleep, travel, and then wake up later. But the premise is that the humans would rather search the ruins and ancient artifacts and things like that, that are kind of you know, spread out and lost in the different planets and asteroids and moons and stuff in this sector of space to see if they can discover a level of technology that can improve their lives, maybe provide a means of repairing the portal, repairing the tomb, or maybe a whole new method of faster than light travel. You never know what's available. So, but it's interesting. So this new game, you're more about into exploring, and with some cosmic horror. I've been kind of comparing this game to Free League's Alien role playing game, which I love. I love the Alien role playing game. Um, if it has a detractor at all, which for some it's not a detractor, but it's that um, when your characters in Alien really start getting stressed, which is a negative impact on your character. That stress potentially, if you let it get out of hand, could be a downward spiraling, just ever downward spiraling loop for your character until you almost become useless. You're just so overwhelmed with stress that you have a difficult time functioning. You really have to shut down, get all your stress or most of your stress, relieved, cured before you can kind of be functional again. This new Coriolis game, while there is some elements of your characters having um, not just physical damage that can happen to them, but there's also mental damage that can happen to them, and also there's like a disease in this corner space that they call the blight, and the blight can affect you as well, and it's almost like a damage that's kind of pseudo physical and pseudo mental. It's really interesting, but uh, but in comparing this new Coriolis to Alien, your characters don't have that downward spiral that can get out of control. So you might have some negative impact because you've seen something horrible, or you're just in a situation that feels, hopeless, and you'll take a little bit of mental damage from that, but um, it's not going to stop your character, and it's not going to have further negative impacts on your character. So you'll be able to still deal with that problem at hand. Um, so one of the things that I was kind of telling my character or my players when they were getting their characters ready for to play the scenario that's included in the quick start, again, it's called the Sky Machine, um, is that unlike in the old Coriolis, your spaceship is not like a firefly, like the Serenity from the Firefly movie and TV show. Um, uh, which is to compare it to, it's not a Winnebago, right? It's not a ship that has living quarters or anything inside. The spaceship that your characters use in the new Coriolis, the Great Dark, I was telling this last night. It's a Ford F-250 Super Duty work truck, with a ladder rack mounted over the pickup bed. It's just a workhorse vehicle. Maybe your crew has like a special one that they always use and take on their missions, but because your characters belong to a guild, this explorers guild, I could also see where maybe some game masters say, yeah, the Explorers Guild just has a motor pool, filled with vehicles. And so as you get certain assignments, you just head down to the motor pool and, check out whatever vehicle, whatever shuttle is available at the time, and these things, they don't get names, they're not the Serenity or the Enterprise, or, it's not a ship with a name. It's a work vehicle that's got a tail number, it's Echo November, 771, and that's the vehicle that you've got, and you just take that out on the jobs. So I thought that was kind of cool that these vehicles, they're really tools. They're not your character's home. Your characters live on Ship City, this big, mishmash place where all the humans live in this corner space. Um, so anyways, yeah, it was we just barely got started playing the Sky Machine. There was the introduction, getting the characters into the mission, arriving at the small moon. Really, it's more like an asteroid that they're going to be on, and the setting is really kind of cool because this super small, like 18-kilometer diameter asteroid, which is just absolutely minuscule on a planetary scale. So I don't even think it's a moon. It's an asteroid. But this thing is it's in a stable orbit around a gas giant, and so when you land and you get out of your ship and you're on this asteroid and you look up, I mean the entire sky is just filled with this absolutely enormous gas giant. Think Jupiter just pressing down on you, and I thought that was a really cool uh, setting, for this, because in the adventure, that's one of the things where your characters come out of their ship and you look up and you see this gas giant, almost like the sky is falling on you. That is an incident where your characters need to make a roll to feel like, hey, are they getting a little bit of fear? Is the sky falling on them? All of our characters are made of stern stuff, and they all passed their test, and so they went through. But yeah, we're just kind of, we're just getting started on it. Haven't really gotten into the meat of the Sky Machine yet, so that should hopefully be in our next session, which unfortunately is going to be like a month from now, just due to conflicts in all of our schedules. But it'll be something for us to look forward to. Um, Something else that was like a observation for all of us as we were getting into this new Coriolis is that, unlike in the old game, and also unlike in uh, some of the other um, free league games that use the Year Zero engine, we think this game is going to have smaller dice pools, so your players aren't going to be rolling quite as many d6s. And because of that, we think that this game could skew with fewer successes in your initial pitch of dice, and it might make the push mechanic a more um, coveted uh, mechanic. Players are going to be um, uh, looking to make uh, pushes on their rolls more often, which I think is really smart, because again, in this new Coriolis versus something like Alien, um, when you push a roll in Alien, that is one of the elements. That's one of the game mechanics that it can contribute to that negative downward spiral of your character. Um, Whereas in this one, um, if I'm interpreting the rules right, you are not inherently going to be losing any points, in this case hope, from having from pushing a roll, because it's only if there's any ones in the dice that are showing in the dice, and if you decide to push a roll and there are no ones, I don't think you lose any hope. So it is possible to push a roll in this new game without consequence. Now, how long can you do that? We'll see. But I'm excited for that. I think that we're going to see more need to push rolls, and players will be more excited to do the pushing of rolls because dice pools and the rolling of your dice. Um, it'll be a smaller pool with statistically fewer successes, In fact, one player was like, "God, can we make the successes be fives and sixes?" And yeah, I'm not in favor of that. I want to keep successes as only a six. Uh, so that way it does bring in the need for pushes more. So yeah, so this was a fairly short video. I'm just, we're all super excited to try out Coriolis the Great Dark. Uh, the Kickstarter is nearly completed. It's way successful. Um, and I think its delivery is going to be a year from now. But I think it'll be really exciting once it finally comes out. So if you get a chance and you haven't done it yet, I advise back it. I think it's worth it. At the very least, get the digital rewards, so you can get all the stuff digitally. But um, it's worth it to do the physical copies. I think it's going to be a great game. So check it out, Coriolis, the Great Dark.